Well, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday morning and I want to show you what I got from the old Amazon truck. This is my spindle setup for the mower. Looks good, doesn't it? So we'll be putting that in. I don't know how soon, but we'll be putting that in real soon. It's a kit. It came with two spindles, two of them. I only actually need the one spindle, but here's the spindles. It came with a new belt. It's kind of a weird looking material, but I guess it's rubber. And then down in here it's got two blades. Now the blades I shouldn't need because I just replaced those blades the summer before. The spindle shaft and everything broke, and I'll show you through the old part what actually happened. So we got that going on. I got to start off with hatching some geese down there, and then hopefully do some on the shower in this video. We'll see. And I did yesterday, got the part ordered for the window, the regulator. It should be here around Thursday from what the internet's told me. So, all right, I'm going to get started here in a minute. Okay, here we are down at the goose shack. I want to show you a little bit of the badness we had happen. This is some of the stuff we poured. That right there is just a victim of not having enough concrete going there. Probably not having. We poured these necks, even in the 24-inch ones, we pour them really wet, and that did not get done right. And this one needs to have the rebar cut off, which I can do that with my grinder wheel. I'm not sure how much Robin's going to want to mess with them. The other ones turned out fairly decent, but there's a lot of honeycomb, and of course they can be fixed. Robin fixes those, but I'm trying to cut down. We need to try to cut down on. See, here's a 24-inch one, same way, and I'm gonna chalk that up to my first time mixing concrete. You think you're doing it wet enough, and I just think I need to do it all wet is what I think. I'm gonna ask Robin what she thinks. So there's one down there. It just crumbled all together. So that's just a waste. Well, all that's waste, really. That's a waste. That's a waste. Maybe this one. That's up to Robin. So today I'm going to start, hopefully get done getting all these right here ready to be poured. We're still getting orders at the butt for these things. But right now I'm going to go out here and look at this lawnmower. Okay, I've already got a little issue. I came down and measured this, and I thought I had the right size. I thought I ordered the right size. Apparently, I didn't. I do have the serial number. So what I'm probably going to end up having to do is I'm going to take a wire brush, clean that up best I can, and maybe put it back on, because you can see the difference. The new wheel, the new one is about 1/4 of an inch smaller. Now it may work, I'll find out here in a minute, but I'm thinking I need to put the original one back on. Now let me go ahead, I got to take this off anyway, so let me take this off and make sure that this is the right size. You can see right here, here's the old one, and what it has is O-rings in there that wore out, and the shaft, there's where your blade mounts, and it was just wobbling around on that wheel. So I'm hoping that this did not get hurt. I don't think it did, but I will find out here soon. Alright, this did not want to come loose, which means they put a torque wrench on it, which I understand. I do not have a torque wrench. I do need to get one. Should have looked for one yesterday when I was at Harbor Freight, but I forgot. But I will put that on the list. So what I did was just put my socket on there, stood up, put one foot on the blade, and my right foot put the old size 12 or 8.5 or 9, whatever it is. But anyway, a couple big old kicks and it came loose. So, all right, let me see if I can get this on this wheel here. Looks like it will fit. Yes, sir. It matches up right there. The teeth match up. 1/4 of an inch difference. So I'm gonna doll this up a little bit. Find my wire brush if I can, and I'm going to get a little bit of the rust knocked off of it. If I have any black spray paint, I may spray paint a little bit. If not, at least I'll get the rust off. Just put my bolts in from the top. Okay, I got the first piece in, and I have forgotten, because it had been since sometime in the summer last year. These bolts come down from the top here. They have a built-in lock washer on them, and they come down through the bottom here. See it? Bolt coming down, and it's got a pre-grease. It's pre-greased. That must be this turning really nice, but I did make sure I put the grease joint, whatever you call it, facing out. So if I have to pre-grease it, I can. So I probably will. I don't know. I've got grease for my tractor right now. I don't know if I had the right grease or not, so I didn't bother doing it. I may go to for the other side. So anyway, now I'm gonna go ahead, put the wheel on, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is the blade. Get them hand tight, and then I will use the blade to hold and use that to tighten, to everything tighten down. Now they didn't give you any torque settings or anything on this, so I'm just going to tighten it down the best I can. And Joe's torque, and we'll take it from there. All right. Well, I messed up once again. I'm glad I take my time on stuff. I just wish I would do that before I make my first move. I put this in, and when I did the belts, I was like, man, that just doesn't look right. It's too low. And it is too low because I've got it the wrong way. The body that is down here needs to be on top. I finally did the smart thing, since I don't have instructions, and I went over and looked at the other blade. Now nothing is, it won't take long to take this apart, thank goodness. All right, here we go. Okay, that is sitting better now. Sitting more even. I went ahead and took WD-40 and sprayed all the springs, the linkage down, so this will move back and forth better. It's moving back and forth better than it was to engage your blade. Spring's got WD on it now. The belt is kind of old. I mean, it's not, well, the belt looks good. I don't know how stretched out it's supposed to be, so I'm going to leave it be for now. The blade's not engaged right now, so that's why it looks really loose. So, all right, I'm going to put the blade on now. Seems a little rough. I think I tightened up too much. Okay, here's the dealio. I got it all back together. The only thing I can figure out on that shaft not wanting to turn when I tighten the nuts all the way down was to just back it off a little bit, which I don't want to do. Hopefully they do not come loose easy. So what I may end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and test it out real quick just to make sure it's working. It is. I did put some grease in that grease fitting. I think I'm not the best with the grease gun, and I was almost out of grease or in that tube, and it's a whole big thing in those old guns to change the tube out. I got one extra tube. I'd like to get me one of those automatic, the battery power ones. That's what I really want. Anyway, if this will even start, the battery may be dead. But if I can, I'm going to test it out anyway. But what I may end up doing is going to get some Loctite that you could take back loose. I think that's the blue color. I think the red color is the kind that's like really permanent or close to permanent. But I'll find that part out. I put some WD-40 on both ends of that shaft. Coming through the shroud seemed to help a little bit. I put some grease on it. It seemed to loosen up some, but let me see if I can show you here. Let's see if I can show you here. See, it's still, I don't want it to just turn around in circles, but the other one over there is a little bit looser. So I'm hoping, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping when the paint starts wearing off from the friction on that, the paint from that blade, I'm hoping it'll loosen it up some. Because this is a whole lot better than it was. So if I hear my belt scraping and smoking and everything, I'm going to know it's not working. But I'm going to find out soon, hopefully, if this thing starts. All right, good thing is that mower started right up. Sat through the minus 15 degree weather this winter. Never even took the battery out, never covered it up. And it started right up. I mean, started right up. So that part's cool. But it did feel like it was vibrating some. So I'm gonna check that out. Well, okay, now guess what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm getting ready to find out. What I did find out on the new one was just having the blade on for 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Yeah, about that. That it's already loosened it up. So I'm thinking, so I went ahead and took my wrenches and tightened it up a few more turns where it's about as tight as it's going to go. So I think it's just the paint had to wear off the top of that blade going around on the shaft where it meets the shroud. But we still have a vibration, and that's what happened before that other shroud shaft broke. Robin started noticing a big vibration in it, and it got worse and worse and worse, and what it was doing was it was getting loose, and finally it just busted loose. So I'm wondering if the other one, if I should just go ahead and change the other one and see if it, because it still has somewhat of a vibration in it, which is, I mean, it's an old mower, but I want to try to prevent any other accidents if I can, or troubles, and not have to mess with it anymore. This side, if true, will be a little harder to get to. I'm trying not to take, or I'm not going to take, the deck lid off. I know what you're thinking, but me, I like to do it the hard way. Now I just don't want to mess with taking that off. I just have to take off this guard, which broke on the other side when the shroud broke loose. So I have to try to find a new one of that. That's, I guess I can order it. You can order about anything now off the internet. And then by the time I jack it back up and put it on those blocks, I mean, I should be able to get to it. It's just not going to be as easy as the other side, because the other side you had where your grass comes out, whatever that thing is called, or shoots the grass out. So I had that whole area about that wide I could reach my arm in, but this one here I'm not. I'm just going to have to reach under the deck. It'll be a little bit harder. But anyway, I'm going to give it the test by pulling and jerking on this blade, take it back and forth and see if it's got a lot of movement to it, or any movement to it, versus my new one. And then I will check back. All right, I took it out for a test cut. Let me take it over here and show you. So this side is the one that's got the new blade on it. So my first cut was right here. It's hard to tell on this hilly terrain, but it looked like it was cut a little bit lower on that side, because you come over to the next one right here, and then right here. It looks like it's cutting a little bit lower on that side. So, the first time I had it set on the second highest blade setting. Last time I had it on the highest. But like I said, it's hard to tell on that hilly terrain because it's up and down. But that aside, what I'm thinking on the vibration could be one or two things. The old existing blade, it's been on there for a year, probably just over a year. Maybe she hit something with it and it's got a little bit of a tweak in it, causing it to vibrate. Or I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe they're different style blades and they're working against each other and it's vibrating that way. Don't know. Sound like I know what I'm talking about though, doesn't it? So the only thing I know to do is put the new blade on. So if I'm going to put the new blade on, I might as well do the whole assembly, right? Right. I'm not sure that's going to happen today. I guess I'll wait for the final verdict when Robin gets home. She had to go back to see her brother today, so but she should be home before dark anyway. So don't remember what the weather's supposed to do tomorrow. I believe there's a chance of rain tomorrow, but who knows. But if she can get out here long enough to ride it and see what she thinks, but I'm pretty much sure I'm gonna just go ahead and change the other assembly out just like I did this one. It won't take as long to do that one because I know what I'm doing now. The only thing different is I got to take that belt, this protector that's not here. Must be a protector right there, and it broke off when that wheel broke loose is what I'm assuming. Well, it didn't break all the way off, but in a matter of a year it has, as far as I can tell, it's disappeared. So I'll have to try to order another one maybe, just to protect that belt some. The belt won't come flying out unless it just absolutely busts it. It still won't. It's got too many curves it goes around. But anyway, that's where we're at with this. So this is turning into quite a fiasco here. I don't know how long this video has been going on, but it seems like forever. Here's another thing. You can tell it's spring. I call them wood daubers. I guess that's what they are. They look like a bumblebee, but they're not as bright. But what they do is they drill a hole into the wood. Perfect hole. Well, there's two of them. I guess where it's spring, I'm not sure. I'm not a bee expert. But there's two of them. You can't really see. I'm trying to catch them on camera. And here it is. There's one right there. He might have got on camera. I mean, they're huge, and they'll fly right in front of you. I mean, they don't bother you. I don't want to kill them unless they start making a bunch of holes. I don't even see any where they've made any holes in a year past. I'll have to look. I'll have to investigate further. But yeah, they make a hole in your wood. They're good on decks and stuff like that. And it looks just like a drill bit. And it's them drilling a hole up, eating their way up into the wood. And if they start doing that, I'll have to try to get rid of them. But see, there's one flying around me right now. All right. Well, I'll try to keep them at bay and decide on what I'm going to do here, whether I'm going to wait on Robin or continue on it. I know what I want to do. I want to continue on it. But getting that old one loose, when I took the original one loose from here, screws did not, well, actually, all of the screws that held the shroud on ended up snapping off. They've just been on there so long. And when I took the blade loose, there's two nuts, the one on top of your blade pulley wheel, and then you have the one on the under where the lawnmower blade is at. And I had to have like a 3-foot long cheater bar just to get it loose. So not sure how far I'm gonna get on that today, but hey, I'm retired. It doesn't matter, does it? Okay. Here's what I know so far. I hate working on lawnmowers. Here's something I just found out, and for people like me that might be watching who don't have a clue what they're doing, but they're just proceeding on and trying to figure it out as they go, let me show you something real quick. Well, when I was starting to take this piece out, I took off the belt wheel first on the top side and started taking the screws out, and then I realized, you big dummy, you're not gonna be able to get it out because the blade's still on there. This goes down. I mean, this blade goes down and that goes up. At the time is what I was thinking. Well, then a few minutes ago, you see how the holes are right here. That's where your mounting screws come from the bottom. Well, then see how this is shaped here? Well, I found out. Let's see if I can get back under here with one hand. That will go up through. Let's see, am I still showing you? I'm not going to be able to put it all the way in there right now, but that will go up through the holes, or down through the holes. So I dropped it down that way. How about that? Didn't have to worry about it. Alright. Marching on. Optimistic. So everything is good. She said she was just going to test it out, but there she goes. Didn't get any goosing done. She thinks she could do Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump sounds like Sling Blade. Sling Blade sounds like Forrest Gump. So we didn't get any goose stuff done in this video. I ended up working on this pretty much 3/4 of the day, half a day anyway. So we will get to the gooses first thing bright and early in the morning. We got a lot to do. See you next time. God bless.